Welcome to ChibiGamers, everybody, and we're here to talk about Kirby Star Allies, and how good is it? Well, first, what is Kirby Star Allies anyways? Well, it's a new game released on Nintendo Switch by HAL Laboratories, and is the main series platform game in the Kirby franchise. But what makes this one different? Well, the big selling point to the game is where it gets its name from, and that you can turn enemies into allies, which you totally couldn't do in any other Kirby game before. Snarkiness aside, this time you'll be able to get 3 allies, which can be played by 3 other players, or computered, along with another feature is the ability to combine elements of abilities into other abilities. While not as extensive as Kirby 64's ability combos, being able to mix and match all the abilities with each other and to be able to combo itself with an even stronger ability, Star Allies, you can only really mix handheld weapons like the sword, hammer, with elements like ice, fire, wind, and electric. While there are some special combos such as mixing rock with ice or wind, you can turn Kirby into a curling stone and fling him around. Of course, there are many puzzles that need to use these combo abilities, but the puzzles themselves aren't very hard. And the computer is very well scripted if the computer has the ability needed to hit a switch or get an item to help out with the puzzle, so you don't have to have another player or do everything yourself. So if 2 abilities are needed, you could have 1 ability and the computer can have another, and it for the most part knows when to use the ability and how to use it. With the game itself is very colorful, very bright, as pretty much every Kirby game has been. I mean, it's a Kirby game. I wouldn't expect anything less from it. Well, the music's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's still very good. It does use a lot of non-remixed versions of songs from older Kirby games, but those are primarily used for extra stages, where all the original music for the main level stages, again, are okay. The game itself is very easy, mainly due to the fact that now, since you have 3 other allies with you almost all the time, and if they die you can revive them at half their health, beating enemies and bosses just become incredibly easy. And they just throw stars, which are pretty much coins in Mario, which you get 100, you get an extra life. It just throws stars at you and extra 1-ups that I had over 100 lives by the time I was done with the game. And along with the game being very easy, it's also sadly very short, with only 4 worlds, and it only took me around 5 hours to complete the main game. While there are some extra modes once you beat the game, it does have 2 mini games that are unlocked right from the start of the game, and they're both incredibly boring. They're probably one of the weakest mini games I've seen in a Kirby game lately. But the first one being Chop Champ, which pretty much I've seen this kind of game on mobile games, where you chop down a tree while moving, or you just tap a button to chop down a tree while moving left and right, dodging bugs and Gordos that are also on the tree, and trying to be the fastest of the 4 Kirbys to chop as much of the tree down. The other game is Star Slam Heroes, which is pretty much just Megaton Punch from Kirby Superstar, where you try to fill up a power meter, and then as this meteor is coming towards Kirby, you time a button press for the most accuracy to hit the meteor with your baseball bat, and see how high of a score you can get. That's it. You're pretty much done with both of those games in about 10 minutes. There's not much replayability, seeing as the other latest Kirby games have had extra modes that have been so well done that they made full games out of them. This just came up really lazy. For an overview, what I liked about the game is that it's very fun and enjoyable. It's easy for younger players, and it's fun for all ages, as all the Kirby games have always been. Another, and pretty much the main selling point of the game, is that it has multiplayer for up to 4 players. But the what I didn't like is that the game's very short. With only 4 worlds, you can breeze through them pretty quickly. While the game is very easy, it's a bit too easy, especially for older players, especially if you've played other Kirby games. There's no extra challenging levels like there was with the Dark Side of the Moon with Super Mario Odyssey. There's just nothing like that. While having 4 players can be fun, boss fights can be really messy with all the battle effects and characters all moving around. It can be pretty easy to disorient yourself and lose where the heck you actually are in the battle. Another one is probably some of the lamest, most boring mini games I've seen in a Kirby game, and it's just a really big letdown on that. While the game overall is okay, that's just pretty bad. And some nitpicky stuff. The music was okay. While it's not the best in a Kirby game, it just could have been a lot better. Nothing was super memorable, but it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. And another little annoyance is I found that the paint ally always took priority when using the special ability, which this one would cough out little food. It was the refrigerator attack that you could get in Kirby 64, and it would always try to do that one, and it would block other computer allies from initiating their combo moves to either try to get an element or work a puzzle. The paint ally would just block that and just make it more annoying to do that. Of course, you can just get rid of the ally to solve that issue. But with this, overall, the game's okay. You know, it's not the best game ever, but it's a fun little Kirby game. It's cute, adorable, as pretty much all the Kirby games are. But with all the fun YouTube stuff, if you like this video, if you like this review, leave a like and a comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell icon if you want to actually be notified, because, hitting the subscribe button doesn't already do that.